Hi guys, today we're doing some poles. You're going to need 16 poles, but you're going to get to do a bunch of exercises. Excuse my diagram, but you guys get the point. So you've got to set up 4 poles on a curve, 8 poles set up in a square sort of shape, and 4 poles on the straight. The first exercise is pretty simple, just 4 poles on the curve. I like to allow 1 step on the inside, 2 in the middle and 3 on the outside. All horses are different and it will depend on the size of your horse and stride length, so play around with it a little bit if those spacings don't seem to work for you. Start this exercise in walk and then move to trot. Both walk and trot should have 1 step in between each pole, like the ponies are showing here, but then in canter it should be like bounce poles, with no strides in between, just over, 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 over. You should be turning and yielding through each pole here, so you're creating a nice ribcage bend. Step 2 is nice and easy, just 4 poles on the straight, around 1.2 meters in between each, but you can play around with that. We're going to start quiet, regular, in just a working trot as we come through. And I want to extend these poles and put them back together to help develop a good range of reach and collection through these poles. So you can see Captain's starting to reach here. Now Ella's starting to sit up and have a little bit of swinging cadence. She has to fit all her, steps through these little gaps. Step 3 is harder than it looks, just riding some simple corners but with some very strict rules. So you're going to be coming into the corner, slowing down as you approach the corner, turning the shoulders, keeping a straight neck, yielding the ribs across, and then going forward again. So start this in walk so you can work through any of the nitty-gritty bits, and then start it in trot. And don't forget you're doing 4 of these in a row because you've got the whole square. I've sped it up so you can sort of see them going around and doing the different corners here. So I'll kind of slow down as they approach and then turn the shoulders, yield the ribs and go. If this is easy for you, you can add some laterals. Captain's doing a nice shoulder in between, then he'll come straight, make a turn, and then go on and do something different. You could do a travers like he's showing here. Have a little play with whatever you feel like in between, but still concentrating on the quality of turn, yield and bend through each corner. Now, even on the greener horses, you can play around with a little bit of lateral movement on the short sides in between. Step 4 is a bit of a tricky one. Mentally it's hard to wrap your head around, but basically we're going to be riding the exercise we just did, but then as we reach each corner we're going to do a tiny circle to the opposite direction. So here Captain will do a left hand circle. You can adjust the circle size depending on where you're at, and then he'll go straight in between, and then he will be doing hand circle again to the outside, and then maintaining a straight line. You could also do some laterals in here if you wanted to as well, focusing on straightness and rhythm, elasticity in the movement in between, using the circle to get supple and work on the connection to the bridle. Just so you can see the overall shape, Ella's doing this in top speed now, so you can kind of see how it all comes together. Step 5's a funny one, a good test of control. You're going to be riding on the angle, almost like an apex type corner, putting a step between each corner pole. So Captain's going to show you that here, so you can see he did 1 step, It should be one step, but you really have to hold your line. You have to have very good control over the shoulder. And there you go. It's a little bit of a puzzle for the horses to process at the start, as they do a nice curved line in between, and then you hold that line. Yeah, you can see he put another step in that one. And just to see the overall effect again, here it is in double speed. Putting one in, working on your turn in between. It's almost like a diamond shape. Step 6 is a classic exercise I'm sure you've all done before, but useful nonetheless. So we're going to use the same square we've used for the last 2 exercises, and you're just going to canter distances down the first line, and then you keep doing that on the way back up, but I'm going to mostly show you this direction. And the goal is to do lots of different distances through here, working all the different canters. So we always try and aim for at least 5 different canters on our performance horses. On the young ones, you know, even if you can get 2 or 3, that's a win. It's quite hard for them, but it's a great way to measure the canter as well. Step 7's a tough one, probably more for the advanced type horses, but you can certainly give it a go on the younger ones. So you're going to be coming through, almost starting your leg yield before you even hit that first pole. It's going to be quite steep. You really want to concentrate getting them to move away from that leg, but trying to keep the neck relatively straight. It's quite sideways when you're using this square, but that's kind of a good thing. So you want to stop them from traveling too much forward here and concentrate on actually just getting them to move away from that leg. Even if it's not the perfect dressage test quality leg yield, it's still a great training exercise for suppleness and strength. As you can see coming through there, you really want to ride to that focal point, so keeping your eyes and all your focus on that second pole down the other end and making sure that you get there. Thanks for watching, guys. I think we've got through it all. Let us know if you have any questions.